Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatsMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, today we have got a very solid vanilla map. If you're looking for a vanilla map to build on, which has got a lot of playability built into it, then you're not going to go far wrong here. There is room for improvements. There pretty much always is room for improvements. There are very few maps that actually get away with having no room for improvement, but it's a very solid map, and I think a lot of you are going to enjoy this one that are looking for that vanilla build. A creator that we've done twice in the past, episodes 526 and 1188, where they got 10 and then 11 stars, and today's map isn't going to drop below those standards. But before we have a look at the map, I've got something I'd like to remind you to do, something I do daily. If only I could remember what it was I wanted to remind you to do. No, it still escapes me. It's gone. It's gone. But whatever it was, thank you very much for your ongoing support. Today's map is a new Swan River Vanilla, because capitals, by MorgansRocks. Not sure why the vanilla needs to be in the capitals, but I guess it is important. There's the start square. That looks really aesthetically very pleasing from all the way up here. And remember, we are vanilla, so that is very clean and crisp too. Terrain heights is actually a very flat map. There is undulation across it, but it's not going to affect your city build at all. Then you have resources, which are very strong and very good for a vanilla game. And if you happen to have Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, your fishing map looks like this. No tuna, or just a hint of tuna in places. But other than that, you've got everything else. Off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, it's a mass transit map. You will need mass transit for this one. We'll be using Reaper's Real Dark Road theme and the realistic 1.2 LUTs. And in terms of a good basic description, I would say this covers everything. So all credit for that one as well. Right, anybody want to see a map? Let's go down to ground level. Hello, map. Now, on the right hand side here, we've got this big cliff ridge. Now, that cliff ridge is outside of the 25 tiles. So if you're going to be playing a vanilla style game, a 9 tile or a 25 tile game, you will not be doing any building up there. Aesthetically, I don't think, I mean, looking at it from this angle, I don't think it really adds anything to the skyline, because it is fairly flat and straight. I think it could have been a little bit more interesting. We'll talk a little bit more about that in the second half of the show. Now, in terms of vanilla maps and vanilla highway layouts, I think this map has a little room for improvement that could be built into the highway layouts. Not that what we've got here is not workable. I'm not saying good. I mean, yeah, it's not that it's not good either. The standards are good. We've got clean, crisp lines. We cover most of the map, and there's plenty of good stuff to talk about it. But for me, there's the potential for improved traffic flow once the city gets building, and we've seen the map. There is room for a big city on this one. No reason why you cannot go a little bit crazy. Coming up to our first little bridge here, we'll just check everything on this one, but it looks like it's going to be a good one. So yes, now the king of the highway layout was Mr. Miyagi. Oh, it still is Mr. Miyagi, I guess. They're really good at producing a highway layout. A little hump on this bridge is very nice as well, by the way. Producing a highway layout which allows the traffic to flow and avoid the start square. What we have here doesn't really do this, although it's not as much of a disaster as I'm making it out to be. Let's have a little look at this intersection here. We've got some very slick lines here. A couple of bulges here on these ramps. One there and one on the other side as well. And they've come over. Just going to check over this side as well. The bulges are, I mean, we're talking negligible. Not anything that anybody's really going to worry about. But yeah, we've got the same, pretty clean on this side. This side, we've got a little bit of a bump there as well. Let me just move it and grab the segment and see if we can clip that in a little bit. It's about there. So yeah, hardly any difference, but room for a little bit of extra perfection on the segment bending there. So anyway, yeah, going back to highway layouts, it's certainly not a disaster. It's one step up, I would suggest, from my first map, Merrickstowe, which had a very similar highway layout to this one, except for my start square was pretty much where we are now, where pretty much every item of traffic going across the map had to actually go through the start square intersection. One step up from that, because the traffic here is going to be taking a right at this next intersection, and so we've got about 2/3 of the traffic can actually avoid the start square intersection on its way through the map. So yes, it's a little improved on the layouts that I used. Bridges here, the pillars in the middle of the river, a few people won't be a big keen on that. I think maybe some rocks, elevate the pillars a little bit so we get a little bit of rocky land. Also got a little bit of glitching in the island in the middle here, a little bit of shark's teeth going on with the... It kind of almost nearly works in the middle of the river there. But yeah, elevated at ground level is just forcing the hills to become a little bit glitchy there. And then we head down into the start square intersection over here. Again, it's far from a disaster. Okay, I'm not saying it's a disaster. Just saying there is room for a potential highway upgrade to have no traffic coming through this start square. A little bit more glitching here with the segment bending. Let me see if I can't just unglitch those with just segment bending again. Pop. There you go. That pops there. I'll probably move the node back a few inches as well, just to allow for a little bit more give there. Got the same on the opposite side of the highway as well. But yes, I'll probably move the node back just to stretch out that little triangular into more of a point, and it should allow for a smoother highway bend down into the residential zones. Anyways. Heading now out towards the edge of the map, and again a little cross over the rail. We'll check out the rail in a few moments time. The rail, very slick on this particular map, so there's more credit. There's always credit to find. There's pretty much always some credit to find somewhere on every map. I'm thinking back to a couple, just a couple in the past, which were a complete disaster. This is a solid vanilla map. Shall we go across the rail? I think we should go across the rail. Yes, so my talking points on today's map are the highways. Just could be, on this particular map, there is room for a more efficient, more slick highway layout, although what we've got isn't too bad. And again, look at the rail, no catenary cows, although if we want to be really picky, which I'm never going to mark down on here, the pylons there are very close to the rails, and any train going past it would be scraping its bodywork alongside there. Again, you're not going to get marked down for that one. It's fine. It's fine. I've got to draw a line somewhere. And yeah, the other one is that raised plateau with the cliff along the left. Now I think there's room to make that a little bit more interesting. Again, as a backdrop on a 9 or 25 tile game, it's okay. Could be better. And in terms of playability on an 81 tile game, I think there's room for improvement there as well. So we'll take a quick glance at that as we do the flyover in the second half of the show. Meanwhile, we're right at the edge of the map, so we'll take a very brief intermission for my favourite show of last year. And so back to new Swan River Vanilla by MorgansRocks. Shipping routes. Now, we've got this one. This one goes all the way across the corner of the map there, so you will get through traffic there. Then we have two dead ends. We have one that actually loops around this island there and joins up with this one. Without joining up, it'll join up down the same route here. And this is where the one problem on the map will appear. The one problem. Check out this route that goes around the island. Goes a little bit cross country. says to me that this island was put in as a late afterthought after the shipping route was in place and they forgot the shipping route was there. It's an oopsie. It's not going to break the map, but it is still an oopsie. Water flow, yeah, it's a working river. There's definitely strong water flowing through here, and again, for a basic vanilla game, that's exactly what you want. And I think MorgansRocks, you can take a little bow for that. Okay, the map overall, let's just take a look at some things. The river, do you know what? I like the shape of the river, I like the way it works. In fact, I like the shape of the land as well. The whole thing kind of like, it just has a good basic aesthetic design that actually really works, and a good theme and LUT combo as well, which keeps it looking vanilla without actually making it look as grim as the vanilla map can look with a vanilla theme, etc. Now these lakes, they seem a little bit low fill, so maybe we're in the dry season. We're in possibly in the dry season. Have a look here. We put the lines of terrain on here. You can see this is quite deeply dipped in. So, have we got consistency across the map? Because if it's just one lake, or no, you know, we'll see. Let's check this lake up here. This lake up here is quite low fill as well. Okay, let's have a look around for some more lakes. This one down here. Okay, this one down here is also a low fill as well. Yeah, we've got consistency across, as long as there isn't one lake that is actually filled to the brim, because that would make no sense at all. There's another lake over here. And again, yeah, that's credible. Consistency across the map. The lakes are fairly low fills. We have some nice beaches. Oh, yeah, the Essential Lighthouse with the drooping rock. Be careful of drooping rocks falling on your head. And then yeah, the beaches are very nice. Gonna question how this sand got up here. Now I know you're gonna say the wind might have blown it up there. Okay, then I'll let you have that, but I'm just gonna clean it up anyway. So let's go into the tool here and we'll just take out the sand there. Right, so if the wind blew the sand all the way up there, I'm going to ask you, why does this little ridge over here have no sand on it as it's much lower? That bit there. Okay, I win. Shush now. Okay, now this plateau over here, it's a really lovely shape. It's not a perfectly flat thing. It's got some really lovely shapes. Got some really lovely tree painting shapes on it as well. And but it stays high all the way across the map, almost the same sort of height. I would like to see at this end the plateau drop to the height of that lower plateau, so it just drops away slowly, so you can actually get up to the plateau from this end without having to do some kind of tunneling or zigzagging up the side of the cliff. That's certainly how I would like to have seen that anyway. It would just have added a little bit more interest, a little bit more playability into a non-vanilla style build. But hey, islands over here, more space to build. Again, these are outside of the 25 tiles too. We've got another lake as well. This lake seems low to fill, but actually we're kind of at the edge there. Any more water in there and we'll be flowing out to the into the ocean. So maybe that's the exception to the rule, but it is out of the 25 tiles, so nobody's going to notice that one, are they? Also, ships going across countries outside of the 25 tiles, nobody's going to notice that. Apart from passengers trying to get into the city. Start Square looks good, and we have an asset of the day. Now, given that the actual original Swan River is in Australia, and we are doing a European style map here, we've got a European asset. It's the Italian Flats Rome Corner 4x2 by Zarrix. Zarrix is doing lots of good work with regards to Mediterranean and Italian style buildings. And oh, excuse me, that came out of nowhere. And this one is an outstanding building. Again, Zarrix just showing that, you know, this is why they are in the Creators Hall of Fame, because they're producing quality that people want to subscribe to. And factoids, because factoids. Only 1/20th of all children, only 1/20th of all children, I'll say it twice, are born on the day predicted by doctors. I guess it depends when the doctors are doing the predicting. 9 months in advance, possibly. Sorry, Italian Flats Rome Corner 4x2 by Zarrix. Today's asset of the day. Yeah, I mean, if I'm a doctor and I'm thinking, hang on, this child is imminent, I predict it's going to be tomorrow. Or we're going to do cesarean tomorrow. I predict it's going to be tomorrow. I guess it depends how many months in advance. Anyway, your chance to vote on the map. Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Click the I button now in the top right corner of your screen. I also now include the link in the description for those of you that don't have an I button in the top right corner of your screen. Right, okay, so traffic goes past my window. Thanks for that big old truck. What do I think of today's map? It's solid, okay? I like the overall design is very nice indeed. There is some good next level detailing to make it pop a little bit without being so great that it makes you want to cry. So I'm going to go for a 4 stars. I'm going to go lowish 4, but it's still, I feel, a 4-star map. Detailing, saying there's some nice next level detailing. I don't think it's next level in terms of aesthetic. In terms of actual making you scream that this map needs to have 4 stars, I don't think it's quite there. So I'm going to go for a high 3. It's still very solid, nothing wrong with it. Gameplay potential, pretty strong again. 1 or 2 minor grumbles, but I think again you're going to get a good solid build out of this one. So I'm going to go for a low 4 stars. But seal of approval. Do you know what? For what it does, I think we can just about give this one. I would like to see an improved highway layout on this one, but if this is the sort of map that a lot of people are actually looking for, you won't be disappointed by it if you play on it. I think you're going to get a good solid build out of that one. So I think we'll just edge out. That's a squeaky seal of approval right there. Anyway, if you're still here, you're part of the 20 and out elite. Use the word of the day into the comments. Score yourself some population points just for fun. And I'll be back tomorrow with another map in the What's Map series. And it's going to be a good one. Maybe. See you then.